Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all good and welcome to today class. Today topic is suctioning. Okay, that is a new chapter in the nursing foundation, unit number 6, therapeutic nursing care. In that is a care of a patient with a respiratory problem or dyspnea. Okay, means what difficulty in the breathing. In that, what are the care we have to take? Okay, first one is a suctioning, and we have to give oxygen inhalation. So many subtopics are there. Okay, first topic is a suctioning today. Okay, so you all people have heard the suctioning before, right? What do you mean by suctioning? This is what a suctioning operators. Okay, this is a suctioning operators when the patients feel too difficult in the breathing, okay, and with difficulty to clear his cough spontaneously, unable to cough, unable to remove his secretions from the tract. Why the difficulty in breathing will happen? Due to some infection. Okay, isn't it? No. Why the difficulty in breathing? Because of bacterial infection, virus infection, or due to some what is that? Seasonally the patient get the cough and all, isn't it? No. And some people have, now we are the normal people, we are cough and we are split this what is that, the mucuses, isn't it? But the patients, some of the patients, they have a severe cough and they have unable to clear their upper respiratory tract the secretions. So in that conditions the nurse have to do this suctioning. Okay, is important procedure, we'll see. And in an I have also sent the video also. Okay, after this class there's a theory things you should know, how much pressure you have to apply and what way you have to hold the catheter. Okay, what are the things you have to do, but next video is in detail is there how to perform the procedure. But now we'll see what are the important thing we have to keep in mind while doing suctioning. Okay, this is a suctioning operators. Okay, suctioning catheter. Then when a client is unable to clean the respiratory tract secretions with the coughing, the nurse must use the suctioning to clear the airway. Isn't it? No. When the patient is unable to clear his secretions, otherwise what happen? Asphyxia will happen for the patient. Isn't it? You're not at all getting a proper oxygen. In that, breathing difficulty happen. Then upper respiratory tract failure also happen. Respiratory failure also is one of the complication. If you are not at all remove his secretions, that are the complications. So the nurse responsibility is to, when the patient is unable to cough, unable to clear his secretions, she have to perform the suctioning. Okay, we have the types of suctioning. Okay, like oral suctioning, nasal suctioning, oropharyngeal suctioning, nasopharyngeal suctioning, tracheal suctioning, endotracheal suctioning and all. But in this year you should focus on oropharyngeal suctioning and the nasopharyngeal suctioning. But you should have some idea about endotracheal suctioning, but don't worry about that much. But you have focus on nasopharyngeal suctioning and the oropharyngeal suctioning. We'll see what do you mean by oropharyngeal suctioning now. See, oropharyngeal suctioning, it is a process of removing the secretions from the oral cavity and the pharynx. What is that? To remove the secretion from the oral and from the pharynx, till the pharynx, that we called oropharyngeal suctioning. Clear? Then what do you mean by orotracheal and a nasotracheal suctioning? So it means we are removing the mucus or the secretions from the oral till the trachea. Okay, that we call orotracheal suctioning. We removing the secretions from the nose till the trachea, that we call nasotracheal suctioning. Clear? No. So it is necessary when the client is with the pulmonary secretions is unable to cough out and does not have an artificial airway. In that condition we have to perform this orotracheal or nasotracheal suctioning. Okay, what are the purpose? As I told earlier, to remove the secretions that obstruct the airway, right, and to facilitate the ventilation, enable support the patient. Okay, enable the patient to breathe properly, that is to facilitate the ventilation, to obtain the secretions for the diagnostic purposes. Okay, means for the corona suspecting, what we had to do the diagnosis, throat swab test, isn't it? No, we are taking the secretions from the throat, like that, for the diagnosis purpose, which bacteria, which type of bacteria, which type of virus we had to diagnose. No, for that we had to take the secretions for the diagnosis purpose. Clear? This is one of the use or purposes. Then to prevent the infections that may result from the accumulated secretions, what happen? If the secretions keep on settled or accumulated or settled in the trachea or in the airway tract, what happen? The accumulated secretions leads to infection. Clear what I'm telling? The secretions are collected in the pharynx or in the trachea. The patient is unable to cough. The collected secretions, that is a source of infection. Isn't it not? To prevent this infection, what we had to do? We had to do this suctioning. Clear? Then what are the indications? Indications is a noisy breathing. Noisy means what? There is a secretions, the collection of a mucus in the trach, isn't it? Now then the patient's inability to generate an effective or spontaneous cough. Then the visible secretions in the airway. What is the airway? Airway is nothing but the ventilators. Have you seen ventilators? The ventilators which have the connector. Okay, which have a connector that we called airway. So in that airway, okay, in the next years and all, you will see what is ventilator, what is these all connections, but you have an idea. Okay, the connector is there. Once the secretion is excessive, that will visible in the airway tube. So if you see that also, we had to do this secretions. Clear? Then suspected aspiration of a gastric and upper airway secretions. What do you mean by aspiration? Aspiration is nothing but what? Mistakenly or suddenly, accidentally, the food content which is entered into the trachea, that leads to aspiration. In that condition also, we had to do this suctioning. Then clinically apparent increased work of breathing. Okay, deterioration of the atrial blood gases, and if you want the radiological changes consistent with the retention of a pulmonary secretions. If you see in the X-ray, there is accumulation of a secretion. In that condition also, we have to do the suctioning. Then what are the articles which required? The appropriate size of a sterile suctioning catheter. In the first slide, I have shown the catheter. Right, suctioning catheter that we had to take appropriate size, depend upon the infant or the children or the adult. For the adult, we are using 14 to 18 French. Clear? 14 to 18 French we are using. And the portable or water suction operators with a connecting tube is important. So the portable suctioning operators. Previously, we are using portable means what? We can take that operators from place to place. If you want portable, carryable, portable suctioning operators, or 90% now recently all we are using this wall suctioning operators, means the each bed it is joined with the suctioning operators. Okay, in all hospitals for the each bed they had this wall suctioning operators, which is in a yellow color. I think you all might seen in the hospitals, isn't it? No, some jug like or some bottle with have the yellow color cap is there, isn't it? That we call suctioning operators with the connecting tubes, isn't it? No, I will show you in the video. Okay. Then the sterile water and a normal saline in the bowl is important. Then this is what the portal suctioning operators. The previously we are using this one, which have a wheel we can take when in all the wards also. Okay, this is what the vacuum which have a pressure gauges here. Okay, this have a pressure here. Clear? So whatever the suctioning, it will collect in the tube also. This is it will create a vacuum. This is we call portal. Nowadays we are not using this, we are using the wall suctioning operators. Clear? So along with that we need face mask and the gloves, towel or the waterproof pad, tongue depressor, and the nasal or oral airway. Then we'll see the procedure now. To assess the patient for the signs and symptoms of any unable to coughing, having the secretions in the airway. If you are assessing with the stethoscope, you can came to know the different kinds of respiratory sounds you may get. Okay, so through that you have to assess properly, then explain the procedure to the client and relatives, and prepare the necessary equipments and the supplies. The maintain the privacy for the patient is important, and give the semi-fowler's positions to the patients, okay, with a head turned to one side. Then they place the client in the semi-fowler's positions with a neck hyperextended. If the patient is unconscious, you should you should give the side lying positions, and you make the patient face towards your side. Okay. Then place the towel on the pillow or under the chin. Okay, then select a proper suctioning pressure for the type of suctioning unit. For the adult, no, we are using this pressure 100 to 150 mm of Hg. For the children is 95 to 110 mm of Hg, and infant 50 to 95 mm of Hg. We had to just adjust the pressure. Pressure gauge is there. Okay. Then wash hands, wear the gloves. Using the gloved hand, what you have to do, no, just coil the catheter. Don't touch the catheter here and there. Okay, I will show you. Okay, how to I'll show you. This is not a catheter. Okay, I will show you how to hold the catheter. See, this is sterile, you think. Here's a catheter is not there. You just assume this catheter. What you have to do, no, you have to hold like this. Just coil this catheter, like hold like this. Hold properly. Okay, don't touch here and there. Don't touch it off. Just hold the catheter like this is very important. Okay, then after that, what you have to do, no, this catheter end is there, no, this end we had to connect it with the suction apparatus tube. Okay, then you are ready to do suctioning. Clear? Then you, before connecting this, you have to take approximate distance also. You can't measure the suctioning catheter. Okay, like you have to place the catheter, your client ear slope to the tip of the nose. Like you are doing this nasogastric insertion, or same thing only. Otherwise directly also we can do, but if you want to know where is pharynx, where is trachea, you just measure how. Take a distance between the client's ear lobe, tip of the lobe, ear lobe, and tip of the nose. You measure like a triangle shape. Then you came to know, okay, how much you can insert. Clear? Okay, I'll show in the video. Then moist the distal 8 to 8 centimeter, 6 to 8 centimeter. Just you have a moisture with a sterile solution. Okay, moisten the distal 6 to 8 centimeter catheter tip with a sterile solution. Then what you have to do for a nasopharyngeal suctioning, gently insert the catheter. Okay, gently insert the catheter where into the nostril. Okay, into the one nostril, and guide the catheter middly along the floor of the nasal cavity. Just go insert one nostril. You should go just go inside one nostril of a catheter, and thus guide how floor of the nasal cavity. Just go. Okay. After that, for oropharyngeal suctioning, what you have to do, gently insert the catheter into the one side of a mouth and guide the catheter to the oropharynx. Clear? Do not apply suctioning during insertion. So what you have to do on the suction apparatus. First you insert. Okay, till the nostril just insert, then you on the suction apparatus. Otherwise what happened? No, the pressure is there. No, all the nostril airs is going to be removed. That could be painful for the patients. Once you guide, then you reaches the, then you on the vacuum, or is that you just on the vacuum apparatus. Clear? No. Well, withdrawing, occluded the suctioning part with the thumb, gently withdrawal by the rotating manner. Always you just insert in the rotating manner only, removing also rotating manner only. Okay, no? Then, so see, before do the suctioning, just check the suctioning operator with a normal saline. You just suck some little water through that connector. Then you came to know, okay, this apparatus is well and good. Then you insert gently with a rotating manner. Clear? No? Now I hope you are not at all understanding this procedure and all, but this is all the theoretic things is very important. You should know what are the principles here. Okay, next video I'll show how to perform the step by step with a practically. Clear? No? Okay. See, the procedure should not be more than 15 seconds inside the lung. So when you are doing no suctioning, you should not perform more than 15 seconds. What happened? All the suctioning, they're going to be sucks everything. The patient may have asphyxia. Clear? No? So only 15 seconds only you just take and remove the secretions. Then you will go. Then 15 seconds you do, then you remove like that. Continuously you should not do suctioning. Then flush the catheter with the sterile suctions and apply the suction. Then suck the secretions from the mouth or under the tongue after suctioning nasopharynx and oropharynx. First you have to do nasopharynx and oropharynx. The pharyngeal secretion you should remove first. After removing everything, you come to the mouth side, under the tongue, in the between the teeth and all, between the gums also, you had to suction the secretions. Then wash hand after the suctioning and discard the used catheter. Okay, then record the amount, what is the consistency of the mucus or secretions, what are the colors of secretions, what is the order of secretion, whether it is the fishy smell or smell, vinegar smell. You should mention the report. Okay, in the recording sheet you have to mention everything. Then the client's response to the procedure. Well, during the procedure, what is the response of your client? That also you had to mention. Okay, this is what endotracheal suctioning is. A trachea is endotracheal suctioning, but this is a small, so don't bother of this image. Then the points very important to remember that apply the catheter for appropriate size. Okay, by gently suctioning, very careful. If the patient feel discomfort or some asphyxia and all, you just stop the suctioning. Don't continue suctioning. If the patient cough, if the patient is very feel difficult, means you just stop the procedure. Okay, if the patient is comfortable, just continue. Then do not suction more than 10 to 15 seconds while. Okay, once you did the 10 to 15 seconds, just remove the catheter. After the few seconds, again you go. Okay, don't do continuous suctioning. Otherwise, the patient may want asphyxia. During suctioning, if the patient's cough or withdrawal the catheter immediately. Clear? No? Flush the catheter after each suctioning with a sterile saline. Means you have to clear your catheter because mucus are there in the catheter. No. So in the bowl of saline, you just after the secretion, once you suck the secretion from the patient, just put the catheter tip into the saline bowl. Then clear the that catheter. Clear? No? Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, then you just go through whatever I'm giving the links, then you clearly know what is actual practical procedure. I hope you understood. Okay, then we'll see you in the next class. Till that, take care.